Right, Ollie, thanks for joining me again.
No worries, thanks for having me.
How are you? All good?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good, thanks.
Nice one, nice one. I think it's episode 18. So, mate, it's gone quick.
Done that many? Wow.
Yeah, mate, a lot. Did you watch the games on the weekend?
Cool. Watch the highlights. Watch the City Spurs game. Watch that one live, and then just caught the rest of the highlights. The rest of them. Some good
Yeah,
games. High scoring games.
mate. We'll start with that City Spurs. I mean, 3-3, wasn't it? I um, I
Fun
did
game.
not expect. I didn't expect 3 goals from either team. Really, that first half, City probably looks on top, but then the second half, Spurs come out. I think they got something like 70%, 70% possession
Spurs.
away to City. Like no team in the league is doing it, are they?
No, before the game, I was going. There's no way Spurs are getting a result here with the injuries they've got, and then they've lost 3 in the spin. I was just like, it's just at City. City are it's gonna be easy afternoon for City, and it's just fair play to Spurs. They played well, defended well at times, and they took their chances. I think City missed a few good opportunities and were
Yeah,
unlucky in certain situations. But I thought Spurs is a great point for Spurs. That is a great point for them.
yeah, mate, definitely. And like you said, they missed. Haaland did miss a couple sitters, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
and then was it Docker and he hit the bar.
yeah, Doku hit the bar. And I'm just thinking as well. Like I do think with Haaland, if he doesn't score them goals, that he mainly scores most of the time, he does score. If he doesn't score them goals, then they're still losing out on their smooth flowing football, aren't they? So then
They
it's causing them, I don't know, you're not really getting either side of it. You're not getting the football they're used to playing, or you're not getting the goals from Ireland. So I don't know. I feel like that is a problem if you rely on him.
It is. Well, that's what the conversation is. They've always had that conversation, haven't they, since Haaland came? Does he interrupt the flow a little bit of the way City play because he's a bit more direct? And like you said, when he's scoring his goals and his record's unbelievable, there's no issue there. But when he's missing those chances, which he doesn't miss normally, and then it's like, where do you get the goals from? And it does interrupt the flow a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Spurs were clinical with their finishing, weren't they? I mean, first 6 minutes City dominated, and then Spurs got on the counter.
It was
And
fun, yeah.
yeah, it was an all right finish. I think Edison should be saving that.
Yeah.
Though. I don't know if you see it.
No, I agree. I think he should as well. I think it's on his quality and how good he has been. He should be saving that. But at Spurs, you take all the luck you can get, can't you? And
I mean, do City rely so heavily and ask so much of Edison with his feet that they don't mind him? I don't know. Don't mind him not being as good with his hands, or is that just a little blip?
I think that's a little bit. But I rate him a lot. I really like him. I think I prefer him to Alisson, in my opinion. They're both quality, but I do. But I
Really?
prefer,
Wow,
yeah,
that's big.
yeah, it is. I just think overall, I think they're both good at their own things, but I think Edison is better than Alisson overall. And obviously, people are going to disagree with that massively.
Yeah.
But that's what I think. I think it was just a blip. I think he's been there 5-6 years now. Won the league, some treble last year. He's not made many mistakes this year. He doesn't make big saves. When you watch City play, you don't watch him and go, "Oh, he makes a big save." Like where Alisson makes save after save at Liverpool, because obviously City are that good. But I think he's that good and comfortable. He just makes things look so much easier than what they are as well.
Yeah, that is true. And also, you probably see more of Alisson, like you said, because they have more chances against them. So he's more in he's fresh in people's minds, more of a talking point.
Yeah, I would say so. But I still think he should save that.
Yeah, mate, definitely. And they've conceded 8 goals now, I think, in their last 3 games, Man City.
That's unlike them.
Yeah, exactly. And they've got a few draws recently as well. Like, I don't know, they obviously missed the Bryon, but is it like a point now where they are starting not on the decline, but they're just not that ruthless team they've always been over the last 4 or 5 years?
I think so, but I think it's a natural progression, isn't it? It's hard to keep at that level. And players, I know they get rid of players, they sign younger players, but it takes people time to adjust and settle in with the new players. I think they might be starting. I don't know. It's a few bad results. They could go and prove us all wrong and win the treble. But I just think, like you said, the last few results, there's definitely some question marks around there. Are they slightly coming down just a little bit?
Yeah, because they used to get an injury and it would not affect them one bit. I know they've lost De Bruyne, their main guy, but they lost Rodri earlier in the season and it affected them big time. I feel like now when they lose a player, it's affected them more. Even the subs, like they're still bringing on world class players, but I do feel like their subs makes him a worse player. Makes him a worse team. Sorry, City.
I can see that. There's definitely they're definitely not at the levels. Obviously, it's still early-ish days. Well, it's December. It's not that early, is it now? But they're not to the level they were last year. But they're still my favourites to win the league.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so. I just think because they've just done it. They find a way, don't they? They always just keep going. When they need a win, they pull it out. They need to go on a run, they do it. They just don't. They've just not proved me wrong ever. They always do it.
Yeah, exactly. Regardless how they're playing, they'll find a way. I reckon February they'll probably just go on a steamroll run and just.
That was like last year. Arsenal were comfortable at the top. Everyone's going, and then all of a sudden, Arsenal lose a few. City go on a run, and then City are winning it comfortably. It's just they just find a way. Yeah,
it is true. But Spurs as well. Credit to them because they were decent. He's not budging for one. Like I said, 70% possession in the second half. He's not changing his style of football for anything, is he?
No, he's not. And I like that from him. I like that he just plays his way with whatever players he's got, and if they win, they win. If they lose 4-0, well, we stuck to our principles. We've done it the way I wanted to do it. So what can you do?
Yeah, exactly. He's got all the players. It looks like proper buying into his system. Like before, I feel like previous managers they'd buy into it a little bit, but if a couple games goes a bit wrong or they concede a few goals, they'll sort of just revert to type and just go back to what they want. Whereas now I feel like the goal goes in, they trust him, they believe him. So it's obviously credit to him.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, all the players are buying into it. Like sometimes with some of those Spurs players last year, if they're playing and they get dropped, they sulk and they don't want to do it. But these ones all seem to, like I say, buy into what he wants, and whether they're playing or not, coming on or off the bench, they want to give everything they've got to play for him and get a result. And like I said, they had their whole defence was fullbacks.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
They're all fullbacks, and they done well. And they come away from the Etihad with a point. I think that'd be a great point for them.
Yeah, definitely. And even Kulusevski's goal, where he's sort of like coming at the back post and just like bullied Ake. That even shows that little incident shows how much they're playing for him, and because they've sort of brought Ake on to shore up the defence, and he's the one who's got bullied in the air.
Yeah, exactly. It shows you, like, they're willing to put the bodies on the line to go the extra mile, push it a little bit more just for him and for the club. That's a brilliant thing for Spurs fans. It can only bring success, I think, in the long run.
100%. Last thing on this game, did you see the referee mistake in the last Grealish thing on goal? I mean, Simon Hooper, I think it was. What is he doing?
I don't know what he's thinking there. I think you've played the advantage. Just let it. You can see what's happening. Grealish he's through. He's got a very good chance to score or create something. Why is he? I just don't get what he was thinking.
I think he sort of like he see the foul and he sort of panicked, and then he was like, see the ball go off and he see Grealish head, he put offside, but then he looked and I think he just sort of like had 1,000 different thoughts in his mind at once. And but it just doesn't, to me, he still hasn't stuck to the rules of like what they're saying with this. You give the striker the benefit of the doubt until the lino then flags later. Do you know what I mean? Surely you just let him play, and if it's offside, then it's not like you're bringing it back for a red card and you've missed it's a foul in their own half. Do you know what I mean? It's not. They're not going to. It's not a goal scoring opportunity, really.
Exactly. You let it play out and he's offside, but you come back for the free kick because the foul was happening before. I just don't get what he was doing. I don't get what he was thinking and what he was doing, because he was through. It was a very good chance. Obviously for Spurs, they're probably thankful it happened, but
mate, they're over the moon.
It's just so inconsistent with what these officials are doing. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I bet Spurs probably ain't the only team that are over the moon with that. Arsenal, Liverpool, I bet they're buzzing. But I do prefer the mistakes like that though, like human error. I actually prefer that than them looking at the screen for 5 minutes and then getting it wrong.
I'd be the same. I'm saying, because when you look at the VAR or when you're doing it, you can't get it wrong. Yeah, that's what it was, to get the right decisions. Human error in that situation, it's frustrating, but you can go, well, he's made a mistake. We all make mistakes. That's okay. But it's when you look at it at VAR and look on the screen and they take 5 minutes to make a decision. No one can make one. And they still get it wrong. Then that's when the causes outrage, doesn't it?
Yeah, mate, that's it. It's good news for Arsenal fans. So I'm happy.
Yeah, Yeah.
We'll leave the United game. We'll go on to we'll leave the City game. Sorry, we'll go on to Newcastle versus Man United. 1-0 Newcastle. Saturday night kickoff. I mean, United were that's probably the worst I've seen them in a long time, and it was it's expected as well.
Just defensively, all over the place. There's just no identity. I just don't know what's going on there. Like, there's reports coming out today, or was it yesterday? Players, half the dressing room want him gone. He's lost half the dressing room. The other half, it's just a toxic place, and you're seeing that away they're performing in the results.
Yeah, 100%, mate. You can tell that, you can just watch that 90 minutes and tell the players are not playing for the manager. Like, it's complete opposite to what we're talking about with Ange and Spurs. They just don't want to play for him at all. You see Rashford getting like passed around and then just walking back, and Newcastle just, especially the midfield three and their back four, just bullied United, mate. Their two fullbacks, Trippier and Livramento, just absolutely bullied the wingers, Rashford and their fullbacks.
Rashford just doesn't look interested.
No, he don't, does he?
So he's just there collecting a wage, and he's one of the ones. He's been there since he's a kid. He's seen it in the good days, the glory days. He knows he should. Obviously, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but he just doesn't look like he cares or he's trying to urge. And there's no leadership skills there when he's on the pitch and get the boys going, try and do something. He should care the most because he's been there since he was a kid, and he just doesn't look interested. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, like you said, he's still quite young, but he's like an experienced player in that team now, and being the whole time he needs to step up and do it. But I feel like he's just got nothing left. I feel like he's tried previously on and off, like half-heartedly, really, but I just don't feel like there's just too many problems at too many different places in the club, owners, manager, players, that it's too much of a thing to him to try and carry on. I think he just said, fuck it, I've had enough.
Possibly, but then that's when he shouldn't have signed the new deal and just moved on somewhere else. And then, I know you might be a United fan, but there's no point hanging. If that's your mindset, that's how you feel, don't hang around. That's the issue, isn't it? There's too many players like that who are picking up the big contracts, picking up the wages, and have no interest being there and being toxic and making it. It's difficult. It's been a long, difficult few years as United fans. Doesn't look like there was a bit of hope and glimmer at the end of last year, thinking, okay, we might have turned the leaf here. It's looking good, but it's been even worse this year. I just don't know what is going on.
Yeah, then to be fair, that off season did proper kill him.
There's some momentum.
Same for every team.
It is, but it's just there was a lot of positivity going into the season. I thought United would be up there, but I thought we'd signed good players. But it doesn't look like we have. Yeah,
mate. There's deep-rooted problems with everything, and because the fans are so like on them straight away, it's hard to even get like escape out of it. I feel, and I feel like them. I was thinking this before the game. Like I thought that back four of Newcastle, like they got Lascelles, who's big physical lad, Trippier, even Livramento puts himself about. I'm thinking like before the game, they'll look at that United front three of Martial, Rashford, and Garnacho, and just be like, boys, we'll have these. They bullied all three of them like it was a joke. How easy?
But they're all easily bullied. Martial, he was on loan last year for a reason. I don't know why he's still there when he's still playing him. He couldn't care less.
He's not a United player, mate. They need to get rid of him.
No, like we've just spoke about Rashford, and the other one is a young kid. He's got potential, but it's hard. It's hard for someone of that age to be the star man at a big club like United and do well. And if he's not getting service, and it's just
a Saturday night, really cold, away at Newcastle. Like they just didn't want it. You could tell they did not want it, that weather, all the conditions. That's the sort of team they are at the moment. United, they're just like they flake. That's the thing. Like what happens now in like the changing room and the dressing room and the training ground? Like what's I don't even know. Are they joking about the place still? What's the atmosphere like there?
I don't know. I couldn't say. I would guess not very good.
Yeah, it must be a horrible place to go every day.
And I would like to think there's maybe anger, a bit of frustration there. Some people might care, but I just think there's too many players in that club who just don't get. They just need to get so many players out and just start again.
It was like that, innit? I feel like that is obviously I can't see that happening, but
no, it's not an easy thing to do because boys
yeah.
they're on big wages, and if I was in their situation, if I'm on 200 grand a week, I'm not going to get that elsewhere. You're going to see a contract out. I get that.
Like Sancho.
Yeah, I get that, but United shouldn't offer. You shouldn't offer crazy. Obviously, they obviously deserve big money, and they're going to earn big money. But there should be.
They need a system in place to try and protect themselves, don't they?
A little bit for reasons like that. Like Sancho, he's on what 250, 300 grand a week, maybe a little bit less, maybe more. I don't know. And he doesn't even just turn up. He's not wanted. It's just. And they spent, what, 80 million on him to buy him or something stupid like that?
It's mental when you lay it all out, isn't it?
I just don't. I don't get the infrastructure's wrong. The changing room's wrong. They need to get the right people in. Then you get a good director of football, a proper CEO in, and do things properly. And recruit right players. Yes, you've got money, but buying world-class players and putting them together doesn't work.
No,
or
100%.
You are world class, but they're coming to the end. There's got to have a recruitment policy where it's got to be from 20 to 24, whatever it is, like the Newcastles, the Brightons, they have like whatever they need to look at. United are just buying Casemiro. Yes, he's done it for this long, but he's in his 30s, but we've spent 30 million on him. Varane. Oh, again, another one. Quality players on their day, but they're getting injured. They're coming to the end. You should be looking at younger, brighter future players with one or two experienced heads and have it all and have a nice balance to it, which they just don't.
Yeah, like you said, it seems like they just don't have a game plan in terms of like their long-term thoughts, and then they sort of just like it's almost like impulse buying, isn't it? These big names and all that. But listen, I think there's a long way to go before they get back to where they were. But I did think Newcastle were just top. They like their energy was unbelievable. The fullbacks, Livramento and Trippier, I do think they're probably two of the best fullbacks in the league at the moment.
It's unbelievable. He nearly scored a free kick. He's just Newcastle are a joy to watch at the minute. They really are. And I thought with the Champions League and a lot of games when the squad depth not being great that they might have struggled. But they don't look like they're slowing down. They look good. They do look good, and I think if they sign a few players in January because there are a few injuries, that they could be up there again. And fair play to them because it's a massive club and they just look so good. Anthony Gordon has been unbelievable, and I thought
top player, mate. Isn't he? I
thought when he was at Everton, I was like, who? Like, who is he? Like, when Newcastle signed him for 40 mil, I was like, oh, what a waste of money that is. But yeah. Unbelievable, and I go, well, that's showing me what do I know? But he's been quality, and I think the way they do it is just it's quality.
Yeah, and he's got that bit that almost you want to give to like Rashford and Martial and all that little bit of grit and anger and a bit of arrogance on the pitch, isn't he?
He does.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I think Livramento's like he could be in for a international call up. He hasn't got one yet, has he?
Is he English?
Is he English?
I don't know. He doesn't have an English name. I thought you were saying. I don't know.
Livramento, I think I'm pretty sure he played for the England youth setups.
Did he?
He might be able to play for a couple, but if he is English, which I think he is, I do feel like he deserves a call up.
If he is, 100%, he's been really, really good. He's had to be patient, wait for injuries, and he's to get a run, but he's been very. And if he is, then he deserves it. He deserves it.
Another one. Oh, go on.
No, well, you go first. You go first.
No, I was just going to say another topic of that game was obviously Pope's done his shoulder.
I was just going to say that. That's what I was going to say.
Out for 3 months or something, probably.
I think I saw something today saying that's the season over.
Really? So there's rumours that that Ramsdale is on Newcastle's radar. So, I mean, what do you think?
So is David De Gea, apparently.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard. It's both quality goalies, both very different goalies. This year is with Ramsdale. You're going to have to... Are you going to get him on loan? I don't think so.
No.
You're going to have to spend 40-50 million on him to get him in.
A lot of money, but it's worth it. They've got the money there.
They do, but then Newcastle, do you go... Then who starts? Ramsdale or Pope when Pope's fit? Who do you want two there? Do you want, or do you go? Obviously, this is De Gea accepted. Do you give it De Gea? Look, there's a year deal to the end of the season. You'll play every and then wait for Pope to get back, and then because De Gea might want to get his back out there for a year, then look to go and back to Spain, or I don't know. It depends, obviously, what they want to do, but that's the option. I think you'd rather get Ramsdale because Ramsdale's the better with his feet, and he's the future for England, I think. But then it might just be a difficult one for when Pope is back.
Yeah.
Who do you there, or do you try and get De Gea in on a free to the end of the season? You probably have to pay him 150 grand a week, 200 grand a week, maybe. Yeah. But getting him on a free, and then at the end of the season, Nick Pope can come back in unless De Gea does exceptional, and you go, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I think Aaron Ramsdale is the shout for pretty much all parties. I feel like they'd prefer. I feel like it's a good excuse now for them to almost get a young new keeper in Newcastle, without sort of like dogging over Nick Pope. They've got the excuse because he's injured, and then I can see Nick Pope just getting moved on. I think Ramsdale will do it because he knows he's out of favour with Arsenal now, and I don't actually think Arsenal will be too bothered. I feel like they'll be able to get in another decent keeper. Arteta, I don't feel like will be really that bothered. Obviously, prefer to stay, but I can really see all parties being okay with it.
So can I. But it just depends, obviously, on the free market. But I think if I was them, I'd look on the whoever's free, and then there's nothing fans who doesn't work there. Then you have to go and spend money on someone.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they've got their big money in, they so.
Yeah, well, of course, it'll be interesting to see who they get.
Definitely, mate.
They need to get someone, otherwise they will. If they don't sign a goalie, they will struggle. Because
no, they've got to have someone lined up already, I'm sure.
Those two, Karius and Dubravka, whatever he's called, aren't. It's good goalies, but they're not good enough. Not at the level of Nick Pope.
Yeah, no. So who will be in now? Karius for while he's out.
No, they brought Dubravka.
Is it above Karius?
Yeah, and then Karius was on the bench, but he brought the other one on, so he'd play and Karius to be on the bench.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Well, we'll leave Newcastle and United. We'll talk about the Liverpool-Fulham game. That was did you watch that?
I've seen the highlights. Just caught the highlights off it.
I mean, wow, the three goals from Liverpool were literally a joke. 3 of them out of the 4 were just unbelievable. Trent's free kick, McAllister's smacked one top bins, and then that is
4 yards out. It felt like.
I know, yeah. What a goal that was, by the way.
Well, then, yeah, it was just a great game to obviously in the highlights because there was so much going on, but in the standard, the goals were just unbelievable.
Yeah, mate, and we've been talking about City and Arsenal, but Liverpool are 100% in the title race.
They're there.
They're going under the radar slightly in like they're picking up a bit of form, and they're just staying like slowly going up and up and up, staying solid. And Nunes had about 50 chances, right? If he can score half his chances, they'll win the league.
No, 100% they are doing. I said they're just going about their business. They're not worried. They're not making too much noise. They're not worried about anyone else. They're just, like I said, they're just going along that line and just winning, playing well. And they said Nunes scores, take his chances, get a few goals. They'll be up there, but it'd be like having another Haaland.
Definitely, mate. Yeah.
But he just is very, very raw, I'd say, at the minute.
Yeah, he can. But I feel like that is something you can work on. Like it's not like he's going to be. They can definitely improve that side of his game a lot.
He shows he can do it. It's just consistency of just taking his chances and being more composed. And then they get him flying, getting him on 30, 40 goals a season or all competitions. They'll be flying.
Yeah, and I think like they won. Obviously, scored 4 and Fulham got 3. But I do think a few of the Fulham's goals, if Alisson was in the net, would have stopped. Especially that second one. He's just like I don't know. He just didn't look safe or convincing in goal, did he?
But it's for him. It's a tough one. He's young anyway. He doesn't have lots of games anyway. And then you're not playing week in, week out, and then to come in and replace Alisson because Alisson's Alisson. He's
a joke.
He is, and he makes these crazy saves. He makes things look easy as well. So it is a difference. It's going to be difficult for them. But I think Alisson is meant to be back soon, so he's not going to be without him too long. At the end of the day, they won, so
they got over the line.
They did, but they will miss Alisson. But I don't think he's out for too long. So when he
Yeah.
comes back, that'll be all right.
Yeah, I suppose he's but it does, even like having a different keeper in goal. For me being a defender, it just breeds more confidence having someone like Alisson in there. Do you know what I mean? Than a young keeper who's.
And don't get me wrong, Kelleher, the young goalie, he's not a bad goalie. He will have a great career, but it's just when you haven't played, or you're playing like Europa League and then you're out and you're in, and then there's probably a bit of pressure on him. All adds up, doesn't it? And
Mate, 100% as well. Yeah, playing that atmosphere at Anfield it's a tough ask, to be fair.
Yeah, like you said, having Alisson behind you, the defence must be like, oh, easy day today.
I know. Yeah.
When you've got the young one playing, it's a bit like you've just got to be a bit more on edge, a bit more wary. What's he like? What's he going to do? Because you just don't know. You don't know how maybe his routine or how predictable, unpredictable he can be.
Yeah, very true, mate. I did want to talk about Trent because he, obviously he scored. He scored the winner and he scored that unbelievable free kick.
It went down as an own goal, the free kick.
What's that?
The free kick went down as an own goal for the.
Oh, did it go down as an own goal?
Because they hit the bar or underneath the post, then hit Leno's top as he's diving and gone in. So I think it's got to be Trent's goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have missed that.
Went down as an goal.
He done well for the free kick then for that goal, and then he scored. He scored the winner, which was a good finish as well.
Very good
finish. He does look so good going forward. Like he's the closest thing we've had to like sort of in terms of creating chances to like sort of Beckham, really, isn't it?
He is. He's
deliverable
good forward, but he's a liability defensively, I think. But that's not his fault. I just don't play him in midfield, play him higher. I think he'd just be so much better there because he shows he can. How good he is on the ball. Like I said, the way he strikes the ball is ridiculous.
And in the modern game, like 1v1 defending, he's just not good enough. He ain't got the pace, the physicality for it, or even just the mindset for wanting to defend. I don't feel so. He has to. You either play him there, expect to be vulnerable in that position, and if he keeps scoring, then maybe you can ignore it, or just stick him in centre mid, like you said, so we don't have to have that reliable defensive work.
Or put him on the wing. Obviously, he's probably not going to play over Jota or Salah on the wing there, but you've got to play him higher, whether it's in the midfield or on the right hand side. Just because, like you said, he's so good going forward, so good on the ball. I just don't see why. And then you take the liability where you play someone who's a bit more solid up right back. You'll be comfortable. I think Liverpool keep more clean sheets and do much better because a lot of goals they do concede come from Trent.
Yeah.
Whether he's switching off or his positioning.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? It is a tough one because then I still think if you stick him as an out-and-out centre midfielder, they still think he misses that, like maybe in terms of the shorter like almost the positional sense, shorter link-up play.
True.
So it's a tough one with him.
It is, but I just think if they could work on that and get him into play higher up, I think he'd be much better. I think he'll enjoy it more and be more comfortable. Taking away, he's obviously still got to be defensively switched on, but it's not the same, is it, as being a right back?
Yeah, I feel like it'll be easier to add the bits I just mentioned into his game instead of adding the 1v1 defending, which I just feel like he's miles off.
No, I agree. I think it would be better for him. Imagine him in the midfield for England or just.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he'll improve as well so much more if he's playing in that position. He'll score so many more goals. Look how many goals he scores now already. Exactly. Way more if he's playing higher up.
100%. We'll leave Liverpool. I only see the highlights of this game, so we'll touch on it briefly. But Chelsea-Brighton.
3-2 Chelsea.
3-2 Chelsea, yeah. One thing I wanted to mention is Brighton. That their first goal, I'm pretty sure it was this little Argentinian kid. I can't actually pronounce his name. But he's another one they've basically looked across the globe and they've picked him up from Argentina, and he's just a absolute gem again. They've done it again.
They keep doing it. Their recruitment is unbelievable, and I wish we had it at United. I wish it was just they're signing all these amazing players. You don't know who they are. Like so, they take the other side of the world and they're just throwing them in. Sorry, excuse me. And they just look comfortable and they just look so good. I love watching Brighton play. They don't keep many clean sheets, but their games are always exciting. They score goals and they're on get more from the game.
Mate, 100% they were because they played well, better than Chelsea in my opinion, and they made two mistakes really, which from set pieces, which Chelsea basically scored from both. And then the last one, I don't know if you see it, the penalty, probably the softest pen of this weekend, last few weekends. James Milner's come in. It's never a pen for me.
No, not for me either. But again, that's like we were talking about earlier, the inconsistency of these refs and the decisions they make. One week it's a penalty, the next week it's not. And you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah,
mate, it's true. And it's still getting to that point where now they're saying, oh, is it enough to overrule the decision that's on field, even though we know it's wrong? Do you know what I mean? It's getting to the point where we know it's wrong, but it's not. Is it clear and obvious enough in the video that we can actually overturn it?
I don't get that. If the decision's wrong and you say, yeah, look, it's wrong, okay, then make the decision. It doesn't have to be clear and obvious. If you know it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't get the logic behind it. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, but listen, another solid win for Chelsea though, and
Chelsea again. They started slow, but they are getting a few good results, and they are just working their way up, and they're looking a bit like they got a bit more of identity, and they're maybe getting used to each other and Pochettino's tactics and the way they play. They're not going to be up there this year, but I think a couple of years they'll be all right. They're looking.
I think like I said with Liverpool, they're obviously a level below, but they're still just slowly creeping up every week. And because of maybe how good Ange has done with Spurs and all that, it's sort of getting overlooked that he has turned around Chelsea from being poor the last year or so to just getting a more solid, like you said, more solid lineup, a more solid style of play. Silva looked good. He looked very calm.
Yeah, he does. I still think they need a goalie. I don't like Sanchez for them. He just looks he just looks like a car crash waiting to happen, to be honest. He's just all over the shop. He just crumbles. I think they need an Aaron Ramsdale or even De Gea. They need a big goalie out there because it's a big club, a big goalie out there to deal with that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they got him quite cheap, didn't they? And I was surprised they even bought him, to be fair.
The 20 million, I think he was never meant to be the number one. I think obviously Kepa was number one, and then Madrid on loan. I think so. Sanchez stepped up there, but I still think if they want to be successful and be better, they still need a better goalie. Because I just think Sanchez, he looks nervy all the time. I think he makes the defence feel nervy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and that just, like you said, it's so easily that ripples onto the rest of the team so easily. Like it's actually one little thing, one little nervous look, and it can just make the defence feel a bit uneasy, lose focus in the game. Yeah, building strikers, mate, and the crowd.
Exactly. So that's all I think. I think they've got good players. I still think maybe a striker as well. Yes, that Jackson scored a few goals, but he doesn't. Again, he could the potential there. He's very raw, isn't he? And he just lashes a lot of stuff. If he can maybe get a bit more composure, he could be a very good signing.
Yeah, I feel like he's similar boat to Nunes, where a couple little polish, and he could be a serious threat.
Yeah, but I think they need someone who's going to bang goals in, week out.
Ruthless, innit?
Yeah, I think they need. But that's what everyone wants, isn't it? And that's not many. There's not many out there like that.
I know.
They won't be cheap if there are.
Yeah, mate. The best one's just left the league as well, but I can see him back a few years, get that Premier League record.
Definitely. Don't know where he'll be, but he'll be back, I think.
Yeah, mate. Listen, we'll leave the Prem games for now. But what I did want to get a little update on who you reckon is the top four. We'll go, and in order, of course. So, I mean, I'll give you mine first.
Yeah, go on.
Obviously, I think it's going to be the top three. I think it's going to be really tight. I think Christmas will be massive. Arsenal, Liverpool, City. I think Arsenal have got Liverpool on the 23rd. I don't know. I think it might be away, so that'll be a massive game. And then it's just whether City pick up do their usual and hit Jan Feb and just start steamrolling teams 5-1 every game. But I've gone Arsenal. I think we're going to win it. You know, I can see us winning it because we're playing less good-looking football than last season, but we're more solid at the back. Definitely, we don't concede as many goals. Saliba, Raya, and Gabriel looks solid with Rice in front of them as well. It's a solid four, that, innit?
It is.
So I can see Arsenal first. I've got I'm actually I'll go City second just because I can see them picking up as the season gets on. But it wouldn't surprise me if they finish third. But yeah, City second, Liverpool third, and then I'll go Spurs. I think even with their Maddison out, they're still looking a threat as we see against City. So I think they'll keep fourth.
That's similar to me. I'm still going to go City top.
Yeah.
Just I think Arsenal are better. I think if Arsenal are going to do it this year, it's a very good year for them. Like you said, the way they've changed their style, they look like they mean business. But I just think City, they just do. They like we've said, they find a way and they turn it on at the right time.
Yeah, they'll get De Bruyne back and then they'll make a good couple of signings and all of a sudden it's game over.
Like, it would be nice for someone else to win it, to be fair. It will be nice if Arsenal or Liverpool, obviously I maybe don't want a United fan, I don't want them teams to win, but it would be nice as a neutral, maybe have something a bit different, have someone else win it. But yeah, so I'm going City top, Arsenal second, Liverpool third, and then Spurs fourth. It's between Spurs and Newcastle. I think Spurs, when they get the players back, I think they recruit well in January. I think they're edged to fourth.
Yeah, I think they're in a better position, like squad-wise, than Newcastle probably. And Newcastle, exactly that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty solid. I reckon that'll be one of them. Should be right, eh?
Yeah, you like to think. I can't see anyone else. I can't see Chelsea anywhere near that. United, no. Villa, maybe.
I just can't put that name in the top four in my mind at the moment. Do you know what I mean? But it'll be interesting to see, mate. Interesting to see. Be tight. I reckon it'll be a 3-horse race for a while.
Could be. And there would be, again, you'd want to see that. As a neutral fan, that's exciting. We don't like about the leagues when one team are just top the whole way and they piss it. It is nice when teams, it is close, it is tight. So it'd be interesting to see, but I think I just can't see anyone else but City.
Yeah, mate. Well, listen, we'll wrap it up there. Ollie, thanks for joining me again.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Probably have a catch up again next week or the week after, yeah?
Sounds good to me.
Nice one, mate. Appreciate it. See ya.
Yes, guys, thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, could you please follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel? It massively helps us out.